Welcome back. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. Our first guest today is Tiffany Greene with Greene Designs LLC, and she is one busy lady in real estate. As the owner of a thriving home staging business, her weekdays follow a pretty hectic pace. She loves the creative outlet provided by home staging, and most days you'll find her heaving couches, not having. That's weird. Sorry about that.
All right.
Heaving couches. Boy, that's awesome. Hanging art side by side with her crew. Tiffany Greene, the talent behind Greene Designs Home Staging, is here to discuss this topic of today's real estate market. Welcome to the show, Tiffany.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
Brian.
Hello.
So before we get into all the real estate stuff, let's talk about what you do at the very little time that you have free time available. What do you do? What are your hobbies and interests?
Oh, well, I'm a boy mom.
Yeah.
I've got a 6-year-old and 10-year-old.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a Cub Master wife.
Oh, nice.
So Cub Scouts play a pretty big role in our life these days.
Excellent.
As such, we also enjoy camping and outdoor activities.
Any fun camping trips recently?
No, we haven't had time this summer. But
funny.
we have managed to get out wheeling in our Jeep. So
Okay.
a
Four-wheeling.
small consolation.
Okay, so four-wheeling and camping are kind of the fun things.
Yep.
Awesome.
I love to golf and also spend a little R&R time on Whidbey Island.
Nice. Awesome.
We like to ask each guest to share with us a fond memory about the home they grew up in. Tell us about that.
I lived in Great Falls, Montana, so I remember fondly being able to pretty much walk out our front door and have an immediate sledding hill.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of time spent out in the snow doing that. In the summers, that same hill was great for big wheeling.
Okay.
And then had a huge trampoline in the backyard, which when Mom and Dad weren't home, we would sneak and jump off the deck onto the trampoline.
Yeah, nice.
No liability issues there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 boys, and we recently learned, and they're all adults now, so this came out a decade later. They would scoot the trampoline over by the house, go up onto the second-story roof, and go from there.
That's pretty much exactly
boys.
what ours was.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
We didn't have a trampoline, so I just strapped a big piece of black plastic to my back like a parachute and jumped off the roof.
How'd that end for you?
That hurt really bad. That hurt really bad.
Oh.
So, all right, enough about the home stuff, but that sounds fantastic. I'm going to Whitefish in a few weeks, so I'm going to pick your brain on some places there. All right, so now that we talked about that, what do you want homeowners to know about staging and why it's important?
Staging creates a feeling of warmth within a home. Vacant homes just don't convey a welcoming feeling when you walk into them. Staging attracts the buyers online first, but then it reels them in when they actually get to come visit the home. And staging is also one of the highest return on investments that you can put into prepping your home for sale.
What would you say is because in your intro, it's that moment, right, of walking in, and there's an intangible value to that. But your 8 real estate agents, because Tiffany works for lots and lots of homeowners that are then referred by real estate agents. What feedback would you say real estate agents are? Tiffany, this is so important because.
I would say that they're asking us to bring some life into each room.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call myself a color stager. We like to use some bright colors in bedrooms, bathrooms, areas that can be a little bit bland and don't have much else as far as architecture in the home. But we also work to play to each room and neutralize some of what the home may have going on, whether it be paint color or if we're working with a homeowner's furnishings that maybe need to just be neutralized a little bit.
Well, and I think about, for example, trim, right? Trim in a house sometimes can be very costly to replace.
Yes.
And if you're looking at a vacant house and you walk in and you see old trim, it catches your eye.
Right.
When you have a staged home and you're looking at the pillows and maybe the blanket over the couch or something, you're not even seeing that trim anymore.
No, staging is a lot of smoke and mirrors.
That's a good way to put it.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm creating a distraction a lot of times from things that we don't want buyers to focus on.
Yeah.
We want them to see the function and the way a space can be used, but we maybe don't want them to look at all the nail holes in the wall or the mismatch touch-up paint.
The dark side of the industry. No, that's interesting. I think, again, in my experience, a lot of it is the depersonalization as well, really giving the seller counsel on how to do that and how to prepare it for the most buyers. But that's interesting because I do see how you can draw attention to the things that you want to draw attention to. So, at what point in the process should the seller contact you about staging?
There is a misconception that the stager should be contacted after all the repairs are done, after the paint, after the carpet, or once construction is finished, if there's remodeling going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we can come in very early in the process and reserve a future date for you. It allows us to reserve the best inventory. If there's something special that's going to make that property really stand out, I can hold it aside even a month or two in advance. So the sooner that you can have your stager come out and take a look, we have the ability to see past what's there right now and see what is going to be.
And there are things from a function standpoint that you could see early in the process that would help them guide the handyman showing up to do this, drapes to be removed,
Absolutely.
Blinds.
We can
Stuff
certainly give some advice.
that could actually happen earlier in the process in order to make it more streamlined. So let's talk about the staging process. So from the initial contact to the sale of the home, what's it look like?
We're asked to come out and take a look, come through and take photos of every room. I get every angle so I don't miss a nook or a cranny that needs to be staged. And then I prepare a proposal that I get over to the homeowner or the agent. We have a couple of days for that to be reviewed before we ask for a deposit and a contract. That deposit holds the date.
Mm-hmm.
And that, again, allows us to make sure that we hold the right inventory
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and enough of that inventory.
Yeah.
After the contract is in place, we wait for all the home prep to be done, and we like to follow the cleaners so that we come into an immaculate space, and we leave it better than we found it.
Mm-hmm.
After we're done, we're typically followed by the photographer,
Right.
and then right into open houses and being live on the market. Once the seller gets their house under contract, which is hopefully right away,
Yeah.
we look forward to hearing from the agent or the homeowner that they would like to give us our 10-day notice to destage. And that needs to happen at least 10 days before the closing date.
Yeah, for sure.
So that we can work that into our schedule and get
Right.
the furnishings out for the buyer.
And, Brian and I can speak to how our process works because we work very closely with Tiffany when staging a home. But, we'll meet with a seller, and the next thing we do once we get a commitment for them to be their brokerage of choice to help them sell their home, the first thing is generally the stager. The second thing is the inspection because we want to pre-inspect. And then our rhythm is we get everything done, including the white glove cleaning treatment, usually on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then the stager will follow right behind that. And once Tiffany's done, I don't know, you're not there for photography. Sometimes we have stagers that want to be there for the photographer because, believe it or not, the sellers sometimes move stuff.
Yes, they do.
They do.
And if the one thing I know about stagers is they're very particular about what they just did there because they're painting a picture. It's an emotion that they're creating,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very particular. It's very specific. And so
I hate when they touch my pillows.
Yeah.
your pillows. Yeah.
What was the one recently? You have to remove that. I'm not a such and such person. It's not for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's another thing, right, Tiffany? Because Brian and I sometimes make the stager the bad guy. We have to let the stager let them down to know that their wonderful family portrait isn't going to showcase their home very well. They've got to take it down. They've
Right.
got to put something in place that neutralizes it. And I don't mean like it's a horrible picture. I mean, no, they're
It may
fantastic.
be a fantastic picture.
Absolutely.
But that's not what
But it's
a
not the
buyer
future
wants
family
to
or the
So
see.
future
the
buyer.
Velvet Elvis has to go.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, I want to ask the story. What's the oddest thing that you've ever had to say? Yeah, that's got to go. Keep in mind this is on the radio, so keep it PG.
A bright blue holographic Jesus photo.
Wow, bright blue, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, holographic Jesus.
Oh, funny. So what does a typical work week look like for you?
You know, there's probably not anything that's typical about my work week in general, but every day is either a staging day or a destaging day or a planning day. Most days include all three of those things, where we start at the warehouse with trucks loaded from the day before, head out to our stage, get things rolling there, and then either me or my designer will head back to the warehouse and start designing for the next stage. Our guys will go pick up a D stage typically at the end of a day, bring it back and get it unloaded, and then reload those trucks to go out again the next morning.
Nice. Nice. So how long, so from the time that you get that agreement to move forward, how long does it take from planning, delivery, and to install?
You know, the heavy lifting usually happens in the warehouse.
The couch, what was it,
Yeah.
the couch heaving?
The couch
No,
heaving,
couch heaving.
yeah. But really the hardest part of the job is the designing.
Huh.
And we have warehouses full of furniture. It's kind of like going through a garage sale and having to pick from what's available to make a house beautiful. I mean, granted, we have nice things in which to do that, but our inventory varies on a daily basis because it's coming in and going out in a continual flow. So
It's kind of a puzzle, like a Tetris game, sort of.
it very much is. So working with what we have and making sure it's going to fit and look good in the house that we're headed to is a big part of the process. And we generally do about 4 to 5 stages a week and 2 to 3 D stages.
Wow.
So I think you said earlier you call yourself a color stager. That is an interesting phrase. I like that. Do you have a favorite style or type of stage that you do?
You know, I actually love mid-century modern.
Oh, my.
I mean, my favorite stage, of course, is a house that's on one level. Mid-centuries tend to be those.
I've got one coming up for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's my favorite style of furniture. I just love how, and it's very colorful. So I love to do mid-centuries, but I'm also very, very good at the Pacific Northwest contemporary that we deal with a lot around here.
So what is this biggest misconception about the staging profession?
Well, that everything looks like a Joanna Gaines TV show.
Hey, guess who was just in Waco? This guy. So that's the big, what do you mean? I don't understand what you mean by that.
You know, when I watch Chip and Joanna on TV,
You actually watch them?
I do. I love
Okay,
them.
all right.
Everybody loves them.
Oh,
How
that's
can you not?
They
but
are sweet, yeah.
everything is so tidy in her process, and it always looks like
And you're
she's
calling,
alone.
You're
And
calling, no way.
there's no way she's doing all this work alone. And when her kids show up on site and have dinner with her or whatever, that's not real life at all. When my kids show up at a job site,
It's chaos.
I'm telling them not to touch anything.
That's funny.
Oh,
So
my
how do our
goodness.
listeners get in contact with you?
They can certainly give me a call or text at 206-795-3686 or visit my website at www.greenedesignsllc.com, and that's GreeneDesignSllc.com.
Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
After the break, we have in studio Teresa McKenna from Empowerment Strategies Coaching and Consulting, who will be discussing her services of helping small businesses with their number one problem, finding the top performer to do the work you need done. This is a concierge-style staffing. Stay tuned. After the break, we'll be right back.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Do you remember the feeling when you fell in love with and made an offer on your home? Greene Designs specializes in creating those magic moments for buyers by showcasing your home in its best light. Our expert home staging assures that buyers create an emotional attachment to your home. Tiffany and her talented staging team have quickly become one of the East Side's most respected home staging companies, having been awarded in customer satisfaction many times over by House. When it's time to sell your home with confidence, call Tiffany with Greene Designs Home Staging to schedule your consultation. You can call or text 206-795-3686 or visit their website at greendesignsllc.com.
Do you hate hiring? Of course you do. You spend hours poring over poorly written resumes, scheduling interviews for individuals who don't show up, and when you do hire, they often don't work out. It is a soul-draining experience that costs a fortune in energy, time, and money. Empowerment Strategies Coaching and Consulting takes that pain and turns it into a pleasant, stress-free, concierge-style experience for the busy entrepreneur. We do the work, and you get to make your choice from 2 or 3 top applicants. For you, there are no resumes, no time-consuming interviews, and no mistakes. Why choose us? Well, we use tools and assessments that recruiters don't use. We partner with our clients through the entire process, and we commit to stick with you until you have a top performer in the right seat doing the right work. We can also provide additional coaching to further ensure high performance within 90 days. Our clients love the partner relationship we develop with them and come back again and again as they grow, change, and add more top-performing people. To learn more about our unique service, go to empowermentstrategiescoaching.com or call 425-254-0577.
Working hard to put a smile on your face. Alternative Talk 1150.